Science Academic Reading, Cambridge 18's book, Test 1 and Reading Passage Search. This is the continuation of our previous lessons. If you missed out some of the lessons regarding Cambridge IELTS 18 Test 1 Reading Passage 1 and 2nd, you can actually go through my previous lessons, video lessons, and even materials. If your target is more than 8 plus in your IELTS exam, you are on the correct path. Please stay in tuned. Subscribe my YouTube channel for free, useful, valuable materials and video lessons. And if you would like to actually download all the resources, materials, notes, or recordings, even books, you can join my Telegram channel for free resources. So let's get started. Today, we will delve into the task type of question matching information. So I will give you the detailed explanation how to solve this information and so on. So here it is, all the best and top tips, strategies, and techniques. As you can see very easily, here reading passage third, and we do have questions from 27 to 40. So as I already told you, the title of the reading passage, Inquiring Earth's Space Junk Problem, we do have subheading. Satellites, rocket shots, and collision debris are creating major traffic risks in orbit around the planet. Researchers are working to reduce these threats. So, let me actually tell you that this is the extracts of the whole reading passage. If you need the book, you can download it through the searching the internet, or you can just write down the comment below that you need this book, and I can actually download on my Telegram channel. You can easily download to your material. Here is our first task type of questions from questions 27 to 31. As you can see, we just do have here 5 questions. I know matching information task type of question a bit tricky and complicated, but you have here some hint. Reading passage third has 6 questions from A to F. Which section contains the following information? You need to write the correct letter A till F. So matching information, this task type of question in random order, not in order. Please pay particular attention on that. So it will be in random order, but we will use how many paragraphs? 5 paragraphs, because we do have 5 questions or statements. So actually, we do have paragraphs A, B, C, E, F, but in random order. So let's get started with the first statement. Let me read for you first. A reference to the cooperation that takes place to try and minimize risk. So we need to go to paragraph C. So here you can see I've highlighted for you second and third sentences. That means companies, governments, and other players in space are collaborating in new ways to avoid a shared threat. International groups such as the Interagency Space Debris Coordination Committee have developed guidelines on space sustainability. Actually, this is the first part of the paragraph C. We do have 2 parts of paragraph C, but we used just first one. And let me give you the solution of this statement. So, a reference to the cooperation that takes place to try and minimize risk, that's our statement. So that means companies, governments, and other Players in space are collaborating in new ways to avoid a shared threat. It means to try and minimize risk. International groups such as the Interagency Space Debris Coordination Committee have developed guidelines on space sustainability. So this is the reference guidelines. So in this paragraph, it's given that companies, government, and other players in space are collaborating. It means cooperating to reduce the threat of space junk. So questions 28 statement, namely an explanation of a person's aims. So we need to go to paragraph F to get our location. So we will use the second part of paragraph F. Ja describes himself as a space environmentalist. I want to make space a place that is safe to operate, that is free and useful for generations to come. So this is an explanation of a person's aim. This is Ja person's aim. This is an explanation. Even you can see quotation marks here. So Ja has the aim to make the space a safe place to operate that is free and useful for generations to come. Next, our statement is 29. A description of a major collision that occurred in space. We need to go to paragraph A. Here we go. We do have paragraph A, and we will start from the second part of the paragraph A. We do have actually paragraph first and paragraph second. So 10 years ago, a US commercial iridium satellite smashed into an inactive Russian communications satellite called Cosmos 2251, creating thousands of new pieces of space shrapnel that now threaten other satellites in low Earth orbit, zones stretching up to 2,000 kilometers in altitude. So here a description a major collision that occurred in space. You can see too many collisions, even thousands of new pieces of space shrapnel now threatened. So major collision, thousands. And let's go to the SOT statement. A comparison between tracking objects in space and the efficiency of our transportation system. So we need to go forward to paragraph E. Planes line up in the sky, landing and taking off close to one another in carefully choreographed routine. Air traffic controllers know the location of the planes down to 1 meter in accuracy. The same cannot be said for space debris. Not all objects in orbit are known, and even those included in databases are now tracked consistently. This is a comparison between tracking objects in space and the efficiency of a transportation system. So you can see obviously, planes line up in the skies, landing and taking off close to one another. This is comparison. And efficiency of a transportation system. Air traffic controllers and planes down to 1 meter in accuracy, space debris, and those included in databases are not tracked consistently. So actually in this paragraph, comparison of efficient and accurate air traffic system is done with the object tracking in the space. There is no accurate actually information about space debris because they said the same cannot be said for space debris. And the last one statement, so to one reference to efforts to classify space junk. Classify. So we need to go to paragraph B. And actually, that's not the end of paragraph B, that's the end of paragraph B, part 1. So others are developing taxonomies of space debris. Now we can have actually evident these expressions working on measuring properties such as the space, sorry, shape and size of an object. So that satellite operators know how much to worry about what's coming their way. So this is the classification actually. Actually, taxonomy, this is giving name and dividing things in groups. It means classification according to their properties or the branch of science concerned with the classification. So that's all for this valuable and free lesson and session. Please stay tuned for updated materials. And I would like to have some feedback from you. You can actually write down some interesting comments. I can answer to you and as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.